I've got to begin my video with a disclaimer. Yikes. People who believe in astrology are not retarded. I know a lot of people who do believe in astrology. Some of them are friends and family, and they're all a lot smarter than I am, and I have a lot of respect for them. That being said, the belief in astrology in and of itself is retarded. So I'm attacking the subject, not the people. I mean, I really can't make the distinction any clearer. That being said, there are definitely people who are inextricably linked with astrology, and I think those people are definitely stupid, so I will tangentially attack them. But this is still more about the belief in astrology rather than the people who believe in it.
Betty, got a nice face in the fatty. Do what I say like I'm daddy.
Holy shit, she's got a point. Let me go massacre all the dangerous zodiac signs before they become genocidal dictators.
I really hate it whenever girls treat their zodiac signs like a medical diagnosis.
I think she's onto something.
Like, okay, so you shave your head and you lose 30 pounds just because you're a Cancer? Inconsiderate.
I'd like to believe that this was the joke, but then again, this is TikTok, and she might not know what the disease cancer is.
You may shoot me with your words.
Nah, I need a gun for that.
You may cut me with your eyes.
I'll need a knife for that.
You may kill me with your hatefulness.
Listen, Nikki, I'm very hateful. Still need a weapon to kill you, though.
But still, like air, I'll rise.
The only air that rises is hot air. Also, what do these zodiac signs have anything to do with the video? Like, are you telling me that these are the only zodiac signs capable of showing resilience?
It's 4 walking up and it's just me. Now it's just 3. Now it's just 2. Now it's just me.
Alright, this next clip is from a woman who wants to give us advice for 2022 based on the stars, their movements, comments, whatever. So listen to her, if you can. I barely could.
This video is going to be your 2022 forecast.
Forecast? Like a weather forecast? Like, there's a 33% chance that Ukraine and Russia will go to war and World War III will begin. It's a good time to invest in Lockheed Martin.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is that 2022 is a 6 year. 6 is ruled by Venus.
Hold up. Numerology? That's just basic f***ing math.
So it is a Venusian year. We started 2022 out with Venus in retrograde.
Lady, you gotta define the terms for the jury here. You can't just make shit up. Retrograde? What, the planets are running in the other f***ing direction now?
So even though it's a 6 year, this is definitely going to be us like going internally more so in a Venusian way.
Amazing. What does that mean?
Then quite possibly externally, and what that means is like self-discovery.
What, so self-discovery just stops when it's not a Venusian year?
But when Venus retrograde is over, the element and the energy of the retrograde will still be around, telling you, yeah, you can, rethink like your love life.
Babe, it's not you or me. It's Venus. No. That Venus. The inanimate one.
Rethink your value. Rethink money.
I'm afraid your audience of primarily incompetent psych majors isn't ready for thinking, much less financial decisions.
How you're spending money and how you're putting money out into the world and all of that stuff.
Oh my god, she predicted the meta stock market crash. I should have never doubted astrology.
Having that kind of Venus year with the North Node in Taurus, like we are pretty much set on a Venusian year.
Jesus Christ, it's the 10th damn time. It's a Venusian year. I got the point. Move on.
Last year, I titled my video like everybody needs to be a Virgo this year because we are so mercurial, but like in a very Virgo type way.
Oh God. Okay. Those of you whose partners talk like this, go get your Nobel Peace Prize. You earned it.
And I don't know if you realize that last year, 2021, like went by super fast. That is very mercurial energy.
So you obviously don't know what mercurial means, but hey, that's okay. We all make mistakes. I'm here to help. So let's type in mercurial definition. See what it says. It says, of a person subject to sudden or unpredictable changes of mood or mind, of or containing the element mercury. A drug or other compound containing mercury. Yeah, I'm not sure what the fuck that has to do with a year going by quickly.
You probably felt like really enlightened and all of that wonderful stuff.
I've actually met a lot of astrology people who say that they're really enlightened today or they feel like spiritually awakened or whatever. I'd like the record to reflect that none of them have ever said anything intelligent, especially after they say that they're enlightened. As a matter of fact, if an astrology person says that they feel enlightened, be warned, you're about to hear the dumbest shit known to man.
Now, there are 4 Mercury retrogrades this year. Those Mercury retrogrades, the way you're going to survive them, by the way,
Survive them? What, is Mercury gonna fucking kill me?
is through staying in your Venusian energy. Mercury retrograde acts very, very Venusian. Like,
What does that mean? What does that mean?
instead of thinking with your head, you're going to think with your heart or your sacral.
Okay, so think with your heart, not your head. That's generally naive and bad advice. But what the f*** did she say?
Instead of thinking with your head, you're going to think with your heart or your sacral.
She said think with your sacral area. For those of you who don't know, your sacral vertebrae are those few vertebrae behind your pelvis. I mean, I'm not sure about you guys, but I've actually never thought with my vertebrae before. Usually the thing inside my skull does the thinking.
I'm not worried about these Mercury retrogrades. Last year, I was like, those Mercury retrogrades are going to be awful, and they were.
There's only one thing worse than listening to soft people talk about mental health, and that's dumb people talk about astrology.
So, just patting myself on the back. And I just knew that because it's a Mercury year, and then Mercury goes retrograde. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, one of my friends got cancer, and I was just like, yo, it's Mercury in retrograde. What are you going to do, right? She's dead, though, and the Mercury's got her.
You might want to look at the 5 love languages, too.
Affirmation. Yeah, we talked about this. Don't do that shit.
And actually ask yourself, well, what are your love languages and what are your partner's love languages, right? And if they don't match, you can see how you might have some incompatibilities.
That's a long-winded way of saying if you and your partner have basic disagreements on the fundamental aspects of a relationship, maybe you're not good for each other. No shit, Sherlock.
Acts of service isn't even mine, but I'd literally fucking pay for him to do the dishes or something like that. Or
Okay, so washing the dishes is not a love language. That's just manual labor. Also shouldn't be the cornerstone of your relationship.
some people just don't have love for you. And you can put that into personality disorders like narcissist or covert narcissism or histrionic or borderline or something like that. You can if you want to.
No, you can't. Even if you feel really bad and you really want to, you can't. You need a doctorate in clinical psychology for that. Till then, you're just gonna have to contend with the possibility that you're just a bitch and don't deserve love.
And Jupiter is also in Pisces right now until May 11th. That
Hey, take your time. Say the right thing. We want to make sure that this goes through the complicated peer review process that vets all of your claims.
rose-colored glasses and fantasies can come out of this.
Because Jupiter. Right. Doc, it's not schizophrenia, okay? The fantasies, the voices in my head, it's just Jupiter. Come on.
So like, say you're in a really abusive relationship or like with somebody who doesn't love you, like an emotionally maybe abusive, and you don't really realize, you might start fantasizing.
She just called wanting to not be abused fantasizing. And she attributed that desire to Jupiter.
And the one thing that I would say if that happens is to really ground yourself in reality. Not because the fantasy isn't real. It could be real.
Nope, if it was real, then it wouldn't be a fucking fantasy.
I know when I was doing the collab with Nicole Brenny that I was like, I think everyone's going to get divorced this year. I'm not joking.
Did you look at her face? That shit went from like happy explaining to you will get divorced. If you're not divorced by the end of this year, I will find you. I will ruin your fucking marriage, okay? The stars told me to.
Okay? Like, I'm not joking about that, okay? And I just think that you should know now.
This ain't even advice no more. This is a threat. Also, what's a disclaimer say? If it's not a divorce, it's a separation from a person, place, or thing, or idea that holds you back from love and creative expression. Jesus Christ, that's every bad thing in existence. You just broadened the category. Thank you for predicting that.
The one thing, like, as the North Node's in Taurus and the South Node's in Scorpio, Scorpio's about like intimate relationships. That's where we're clearing out all the karma.
Serious question, will this karma clearance affect my credit score?
The Venus is retrograde. We're rethinking what we love. Like, all of this stuff is happening. And so if during January and December you were like, wait, I don't know if this is right, you might be on the road to a divorce.
If you think that in July though, don't worry, your relationship is fine. It's just in January.
If you're asking somebody for a separation, say, and they won't give you one, make sure that they do.
Get a restraining order. And don't wait for the fucking stars to tell you.
Saturn is still going to be in Aquarius, and it's been for a year. So this is similar energy to last year as far as what Saturn is breaking apart.
Saturn's breaking apart? We gotta tell NASA.
However, last year Jupiter was in Aquarius with Saturn. So in a way, it was protecting Saturn, but also...
Okay. See, now I want to know what's so dangerous in the solar system that inanimate planetary-sized objects are worried about them and have to protect each other.
Saturn was taking away the optimism of Jupiter.
You're taking away my optimism in humanity right now. I'll tell you that for free.
Things like astrology, they fall in Aquarius. The internet falls in Aquarius.
Don't you lump astrology with the internet. Yeah, sure, the internet is shit. At least it's real.
We're going to be dealing with more, especially because Uranus
Anyway.
is in Taurus, and that's where the North Node is as well. And Uranus...
She said it again.
Because now you know what you were meant to do. You weren't meant to follow somebody else's authority. You're meant to follow your inner authority.
The voices in my head, my inner authority tells me that I should...
And if you think that your inner authority doesn't match with somebody else, then you need to get into astrology or tarot or something.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We never meet these people because they're doing the same thing. So even if nobody has been pulled out of their own personal matrix yet, and you're the only one, at least get there so that when somebody else gets pulled out too, they see you and you can be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm just like you. We're both out of here.
Did you get all that? Great. You could tell me that this came from an episode of Alex Jones's podcast and it wouldn't bat an eye.
Pluto has one more year in Capricorn.
So, fun fact, Pluto was discovered actually very recently, February 18th, 1930. So, like, right during the Great Depression, they found Pluto. And apparently a lot of these guys talk about astrology being thousands and thousands of years old. So if Pluto was just discovered, I want to know how it already made its way into the philosophy of astrology. Because y'all didn't know this shit existed or influenced anything until like about 90 years ago.
Or have a lot of cardinal energy. Pluto has been transforming this, has been taking a lot away from you, has been hurting.
I mean, I know the cardinals are pretty powerful and all. I'm not sure if they have any energy though. Like, can I stick them in my car and make it go?
Other thing is, May 11th to October 29th, Jupiter is going to move into Aries. So this energy...
Look, I already explained what energy is in the manifestation video, i.e. Caprisun 1, but I'm not going to go into the same detail. I'm just going to make it quick here. Not everything you can't explain is f***ing energy.
And it only adds to the fact that you really need to be thinking with your heart, not your head.
Well, if you're this deep into this bullshit, you're not using your head anyway, so redundant advice.
You don't go into your head, man. Stay out of your head. Your head is stupid.
She's literally telling you that thinking rationally is bad. I really can't make this shit up.
Your head's putting you into paralysis of analysis. Your head is telling you that this person loves you when they don't, and this person doesn't love you when they do. Like,
well, my head's telling me you're full of shit. I tend to agree.
You really need to follow your heart. I promise you, it will take you where you need to go.
Unfortunately, I'm not an impulsive 4-year-old, so I can't do that. I've got quite a few projects in the production pipeline right now. I mean, you probably noticed that this one is probably more mild than the ones I've done so far. That's because there's a Caprisun 3 and a Caprisun 4 that are already in the works. Each one is more hostile than the last because a lot of people treat this like a real science. Like, they'll divide it into like subsections, philosophies, and whatever theories they have for this nonsense. So there's quite a lot of it for me to burn. And there's also stuff like the Tinder Swindler that I'm working on. I've also got like the Alpha, Beta, Sigma grind set bullshit that people got. And like, I get it's a joke, but some people do that shit unironically. And I feel like they've got it way too easy. I mean, that's just like astrology, but for men. So yeah, they're in the crosshairs too.